What's going on, everybody? This is Fry. So it all comes down to this. This is the final round of the Puro Pantheon Plants vs. Zombies Heroes tournament. My opponent, of course, is LGTYQZ or something like that. This, whatever it says here. We faced already earlier this week. I did beat him in that set. That was a best of 5. Today we're playing a best of 7. Just because it's the finals, we wanted to extend it, make sure it wouldn't be a fluke. So this is going to be the last game. It looks like he's ready. I'm ready. He won the coin toss and chose plants. I would have chose plants too. I feel like a little better about plants than zombies here, but I did prepare this deck specifically for this match. This is the Tact lock-in. It's going to be basically your normal lock-in, but we're running dog. I feel like he runs a lot of Haunted Pumpkin. I'm expecting the decks from him today are going to be Ringzilla, since it just seems like that's kind of good against like the Neptuna and the Huge Giganticus I run. This will be very strong against Ringzilla with the dogs, and all the early game were stacked really heavily. And even the cheese cutters, once you start putting those in their drawing cards, you're going to be able to deal with the early game Ringzilla very easily. He's not going to be expecting this Raptor, something I added in, just so we're able to be a little bit more of an aggressor instead of Cowboy. All right. Other decks I'm expecting are A-Beans. I think that's going to be very good against the Huge Giganticus deck I used last week. Not very good against Neptuna. We'll see if he goes with that. And the other one is Elusives. Those are the 3 decks I'm predicting, but again, he could play his Walnut that he's comfortable with. I think this will be a good matchup against all 4 of those. We have Nibbles and Extinction Events to deal with the Beans. But he might have just came up with something special. I don't know how thoroughly he prepared, so I'm going to really try not to overthink it. I think this will be a very good matchup against what I know, and in general, this is a very strong deck. The only hope I'm having is that he's not running Blockbuster. I'll try to play around it. I don't even think Cool Beam will slow down this deck enough because we'll end up with so much stats. Cool Beam and mixed up Gravedigger stalls for one turn. We have so many strike throughs and environments to be able to hit face the next turn. I don't think it's necessarily going to matter. We'll see. We'll try to play around Cool Beam and Blockbuster, but otherwise we're just going to play our game. Really going to be developing an early game, setting up an environment and finishing off with Poe Yeti Mug. Let's get right into it. His bans, once again, are going to be Infinity and Z-Mech. My bans were Infinity and Huge Giganticus. Don't want to play against Tellims today. And on the plant side, I banned Grass Knuckles and Captain Combustible. He banned Walnut and Captain Combustible. Alright, and we're on. He's going with Chompzilla. This is sort of the most obvious thing. Again, I think he was doing this to try to beat Neptuna and HG. This is going to be really good. The question is, do we want Strike Through? This is less good against Chompzilla because he has a lot of like 1 or 2 cost things that do 4 attack, like the Pumpkin and stuff. This hand should be just fine. Just fine. Let's rock. So it's going to be dog on 1. Really good answer to Pumpkin. And again, it allows me to be the aggressor. So if he doesn't play his Pumpkin here, I'm going to actually be able to be quite aggressive next turn. So we can either buff this if he doesn't play anything. He might be going for the slow route, which means we have a really big guy in the field. Really interesting. He's running Black IP now. So we have 2 options. We can either Galvanize, which will make us win the trade. We'll have a 4-1 at the end of that. Or we can Extinction Event. I think the Extinction Event's going to be more value later because he does run a lot of like multiple minions. I'm also looking at the next play. I mean, we could go for the environment. We can also go for the Raptor. The Raptor's probably actually going to end up being better. But I think I want a big threat on the field. I think this is good enough. This will be a 4-4. He's going to have a 3-4. Now, he could have Scorch, which would be a little bit sad. Should I play around Scorch and play this not on the ground? Now, this environment works obviously much better. On 1, he didn't use his super. His Scorch, Holoflora he didn't use, and Heal. So it's probably either Heal. I feel like he would have used his super by now. So I think it's either Heal or Scorch. Pretty high chance of Scorch. So I'm actually going to play this in Heights. I don't want him to Scorch and like kill this with a Bongcha. I want him to have to commit a big minion in order to kill this. Still don't know what his minions, what his powers are. If he has a Scorch, he should be using it here. I know he wasn't expecting Raptor. We definitely have to again definitely be the aggressor in this matchup. Once he plays the onion rings, his thing becomes OP. We're forcing him to play into our hands by playing a lot of cards. I did test this matchup specifically a lot. It seems like the Neptuna, actually, if you play a slow Chompzilla, it's good. Wow. There's Pumpkin. Now this will actually, I think, will this trade 2 for 1? The bottom kills it first and then the top? No, it doesn't. So we're still doing 4, which is nice. So our options are either Pogo, we can Pogo Mug, we can Extinction Event this turn. His probable play, I think this foregoing phase, we don't need to Pogo Mug here. I think this is going to keep him off the field. This will definitely play around any minions he plays here. I think this is alright. We can also bounce the Haunted Pumpkin if we need to. Very interesting that he went Eye Spore. Just healing. And, okay, so his power was heal. We're definitely bouncing that back. So I'm going to do the really strong... See if he gets Scorch. Really would like him not to. Even in getting Super would be better, just so that's out of the way. He got Super. I am most likely going to play Mixed Up Gravedigger here and hit him for 7. That was most of his healing out of the way there. Yeah, gotta do that. I'll put this here, just the lanes are a little bit better. The most he's going to be able to do is Onion Rings. Onion Rings, Little Buddy could be a play too. We haven't actually done a lot of damage, but we are pretty much ahead. Let's see if he has any Little Buddies. Okay, so that gets back in his hand. The Strike Through Environment will prevent him from like jump blocking us too much. Now he's going to have a great hand here. He's got 5 cards and an Onion Ring. We're sitting on 16 health. He's at 11. Catch-up mechanics would be strong. I wonder if this is even worth it here. I feel like... Is having an extra minion worth the catch-up mechanic being basically a 5/5? We have Nibbles. I think I am going to commit another minion. I think we have to stay aggressive here. We are able to play a whole bunch of tricks if we need to. The laser is probably going to end up on the Mixed Up Gravedigger. Again, we're feeding the catch-up mechanics a little bit. He doesn't necessarily have them, though. We really do. Even catch-up mechanic, it'll be really strong. Ugh. At least we have Strike Through just to keep this damage going, you know? So he's running Corn. If he plays again multiple, which is very likely in this deck, he's running a lot of laser. So I think it's Nibble and Environment, and that's it. Interesting Black IP. So he didn't efficiently spend his sun there. Nibble's gonna feed this. I can also play the Environment here and kill this Black IP. Is going for face for 4 or 2 a very big difference here? I'm gonna keep the 4. I don't think he had a second Corn, or else he would have played it there. So the only thing he can really do that does 1 damage, besides for Scorch, is gonna be another Corn. I think he has it. He would have played it. It's a 4/4. I think he would have. Extinction Event does kill this. There's Yeti. That's exactly what we want to see here. Yeti plus Extinction Event looks pretty good. This also can make a very good trade against this card, so... we can Extinction Event to activate the Yeti. We're the aggressors in this matchup for sure. He's played so far, you know, he has an Onion Rings in his hand. I think he buffed 5 cards and he's played 2 of them. It's a Pumpkin. It's giving us cards, which is nice. Let's see what we get. Let's go on there. We do have a Nibble too. So we're going to freeze this. I think since this black IP dies no matter what here, well, we're hitting him 3 times, we'll have him down to 1. This extinction event looks really, really good. I think it's nibble to keep our guys alive. That's not a mistake. Keeping our health total pretty high too. We got a full block meter now, which is nice. We can always extinction event something later. He's used most of his cards. There's a double. So I'll empty my hand here. Plant food, plant food. I don't think is gonna get it done. We'll just nerf the strike through. I think these 2 extinction events are gonna go a long way here though. He's already used his super, no, gotta worry about that. Is there a reason to double extinction lane 2? I mean, we'll see if he starts playing multiple minions again, haunted pumpkins and stuff here. That would be good. We're well beyond 1 plant food range. Double plant food would do 4 and 5. Might be his best way of winning here. Probably doesn't have 2 plant foods in his hand though. Out of 3 cards. Onion rings. And that's it. So, of his powers, he's used heal, and he's used super, so Scorch can only bring this down to 4, so this is going to be guaranteed lethal. Extinction. Extinction. If he blocks, he gets Scorch or Holoflora. Neither of those are going to save him. From a 4-1 will finish him. Yep. His super win save here, because he is what's that. Didn't need that, it's just BM. And, alright, that'll be game 1. Again, Shamzilla doesn't have the powers that really save you reliably. That's her powers are very, very weak. So that'll do it. We're up 1-0. So it looked like, you know, Shamzilla was a decent pick against the types of decks that I run. But it looks like we sort of, you know, that was one of the decks we were expecting, and we did extremely well. We got far enough ahead, strike through environments, there's just no answer to that. Just kept the damage coming, and eventually he ran out of steam. So far, so good. So again, first person has to win, you have to win, it's best of 7, so you have to win 4 games. Win 4 games. That was 1. Alright, so now we're going to switch. I'm going to play plants. So again, I'm going to really use the same 2 decks. I have this Grass Knuckles deck, which I've actually gone away from. I feel like it might be a little bit slow against his package and burn decks. I do have, again, the Citron deck, which he is less familiar with, and the Rose deck, which he's more. My gut is to play Citron. I think he's going to play Lockout, and the Citron does run 4 blockbusters. I think either Neptuna or I think Plane Control or Lockout. We're going just for Discord decks. I have the luxury of knowing that the opponent only plays a certain amount of decks. I've been making new decks every single time. I just feel like it gives me such an advantage here. So game 2 is going to be Countertron against Lockout. Lockout, I mean. Lockout. So this is exactly what we predicted. Now, again, he doesn't know about the he doesn't know about the blockbusters. I'd really like to get one here. I feel like this is going to work on 1 against Dog. I'm going to get rid of this. It's nice to actually have multiple plays like this. Should I look for the blockbuster here? There's a bounce. That'll be fine. This will be fine. So if he passes, I go Forget-Me-Nots. Nah, I'm just gonna play Lima into Dog. Mine's better. What a surprise lockout. This was the weird deck. He hasn't used this a lot. He's used it in earlier rounds in the tournament. I did scout that a little bit, and it's just the obvious thing to try to counter my Rose deck. This actually does fairly well against Rose. We want to play around Extinction Event here. So I definitely don't want to play Lima Protect. I think I am going to go with... he passed, so he has to play a trick here. I'm going to go with you. I think I commit the Protect. Well, I can actually just play the Lima. In fact, this Lima is probably better. It probably is better. And then I'm able to protect my Triceratops next turn. So now, he can play Extinction on these two. He can nibble. The most thing he can do is nibble, and I'm still ahead. So he goes with Dog. That is fine. We're going to be able to actually kill that with the Triceratops Protect next turn. I think I'm doing pretty well here. I hope he actually tries to go after the Forget-Me-Nots. That would be really nice. I love having this bounce in my hand. We're also going to be drawing an extra card, which is really nice here. Triceratops Protect seems like the obvious play. He doesn't really have anything that can take this out. He's passing. I think he's just going to go for like an environment here. This will actually prevent the damage as well. It also puts an extra Beanstalk in my deck. By the way, if you leave these Lima Pleurodons to their own devices, that's a really good top deck. If you leave them to their own devices, you're going to get Beanstalks, especially with all the photosynthesizers and Citron Powers and stuff we're running here. So he's Extinction Eventing that. Doesn't even kill it, though, which is very, very sad. I would have killed the Forget-Me-Nots, which it seems like it's hurting him more. We're able to actually just move this now. You know, I can actually counter this with Juggernaut Protect. We'll actually win a trade against this, so... we don't have any blockbusters, unfortunately. I'd love to get those before all the heat comes out. But we've definitely won these first 3 turns. There's really no question about that. This is going to get beyond control. I mean, he could Pogo right now. Cowboy. The other thing we can do is just attack your bounce and photosynthesize, which looks really good. This will go up to 6 health. Yep. Keep the health on this. I even could have buffed. I maybe should have thought of that. Well, no, this would only have 4 health. No, that was definitely correct. See you, Cowboy. That's just gonna cost him another bunch to play here. So I kind of like this the Sweet Pea. It'll hopefully mess something up. Otherwise, it's just a card we play next turn. Come on, Blockbuster, where are you? Unfortunately, I mean, the Juggernauts are going to be fine. So that's either Yeti or Pogo. Can't play Extinction Event either way, so we're just going to keep this pressure on him. Top decking Blockbuster will put this guy away right now. This running 4, I can't run any more than that. It's nice that we're actually something dying, because it means we can like play Brainana if we top deck it too. That hits. So he kills that. This is Bullseye. He's down to 4 empty block meter, which is really good in this situation. I don't know how he's going to deal with all of these. He doesn't really have a way of field clearing us. I mean, he can freeze to stall for time. That's basically it. I think keeping this, for some reason, just feels like keeping this alive is going to manipulate his field. There's the Blockbuster. Play Mug. Do it. Just do it. Just any gravestone this is going to win against right now. I'm obviously going to save it if he passes here. He has to play around Brainana too. He knows I'm running. I killed him with Brainanas in this deck. And there's no way of playing around Mug because he played this in middle lane. You can't play around, you know, if I was playing against this deck, I would have gone 1 and 4. Any gravestone, he just loses on the spot. Nope. Do we play around Extinction Event right now? It's pretty likely. This guy's still in such bad shape. think I have to play around Extinction Event and not play 3 of these. That would be way too sad. Freeze all plants on ground. Oh, he can't play Extinction. Whoops. We still have Forget-Me-Nots. So we're doing 2 right now. Damn, I'd love if he played a Gravestone here. Blocks. Is this Mog worth it? Gotta be. Gotta be. It's 11-9. Okay. Still waiting for that Mog. So this is lethal right now. We'll have another lethal. There's the Magic Beanstalk. He let that go too long. Even if we show him the 1 blockbuster, he's not going to know about the rest. Superpowers. I haven't been keeping track. He uses Freeze and uses Galvanize. Right? Yeah. So he has Acid Rain. He kept a super there. I think he has one. So playing around blockbuster. Kinda nice. No real way of knowing what's going on here. I should use this. I think we'll know more about the other gravestone once we bust this one. See what he played. Line Dancing Zombie. So this one costs 4, which means I'm actually going to play this here. It's probably a Pogo now. It can't be a Yeti. So this will trade well against it. Yes! Yes! Got him! Got him with the blockbuster. Didn't need the big mug blockbuster, but we got him enough with this. Tech this deck, I mean, he conceded. He didn't have an out. He just didn't have an out. He couldn't take out 2 guys. It was either a Pogo or a Line Dancing Zombie. They both lose. They both lose. Or maybe he just didn't want me to see what was in that gravestone. Maybe it was like a loudmouth. Who knows, man? Alright, 2-0. Alright, guys, so here's the version of Valkster that I'm using. There is one difference. I switched to 2 Mustache Monuments and 3 Final Missions, as you can see. I switched back. So now I'm back at 3 Mustache Monuments. It's at the bottom row here, and 2 Final Missions in the middle row here. I just found that you kind of just need Mustache Monument so often as a finisher, not getting it. Hopefully we won't get too many of them, because if you get like 2 or 3, then they brick, obviously. Strong deck. Wanted to use this in the finals. I think this will be, again, good if he goes back to Ringzilla. It's going to be sad against Elusive, so. But this can beat Elusive. You just have to play around the Shrinking Violets. I feel like once you do that, you can actually beat him. Let's see what happens here. Hopefully I'm not just throwing by playing a deck to prove a point. That's pretty sad, you know? Alright, he plays Walnut. That's fine. Gotta watch out for that for the Forget-Me-Nots, and we'll see if he has Pumpkins. Now, the thing you want, obviously you need a Valkyrie Trickster. I don't think this is gonna be fast enough. You want a Barrels? Okay, I guess we're going the trick route, huh? You want Barrels, and do I keep this is the question. Teleport with Trickster. I think I'm gonna look more for like a Bungee Plumber. Okay, that's better against Pumpkin, way better. Right, so he's playing Walnut. Walnut. Again, I have just a little chart with his superpowers. Basically, I'll use it for. And he actually plays Pumpkin on turn 1 against Brainstorm, which is so sad. It gives me a card. 1 for 1, giving me a card. And charging my Trickster, so extremely sad there. The final mission, I'd set this up. We actually do, so I'm gonna set this up right now. Just gives us an opportunity to play that next turn. He's passing. I think if he passes, I final mission to face. We have to keep the pressure going. We have a fruitcake. We can play around with a lot of stuff. Gotta just keep these tricksters rolling. We'll use these to eventually maybe to proc a block. He's down to 12, so teleport trickster just ordered. 2 tricksters already went. We'll probably end up using a fruitcake here. I'll make him play around final mission. I like it. Maybe using this to chump block later, though, will be better. We also have backup dancers and this on 6. I think I'm just gonna, well, is making him play around final mission good? It probably is. Again, a fruitcake can make this go face. Our tricksters are now at 8 and 9. I'm a little colorblind, so it's hard for me to see the pink and the green. Okay. I believe we do fruitcake this just to slow him down. And play around the... Again, it also speeds us up. See what we get here. This is an important draw. Quasar would be nice. Got it. This is turn 5. We'll actually do this probably next turn. Telepathy is extremely good here. Extremely good, because now we can get a beam me up and get a lot of things. We can get things to continue the pressure here. So far, this is completely going our way. I really like the Monster Mash play on turn 6. I'm so excited for this. Telepathy was so good. Captain Cucumber got from Cake. Going with that. Let's see if we can get another fruitcake. It'd be nice. Here's the final mission. It's just so good here, man. It's just so great. Do we go face with this? Yeah, I can't have him getting some kind of miracle from this. It's kind of his only out right now. So we have to take a final mission from Telepathy. It's so great. Proc the block. Good shape. Trickster's actually 5. So this will be turn 6. It almost feels like BM at this point, but I'm actually going to go for the backup dancers. This fruitcake play could also go a long way. Really, you just have to do 2 damage and then play a trickster. Or Mustache Trickster will be available next turn, so we can just break through anything we want. This is probably right, rather than doing this. Cob Cannon. Cob Cannon's kind of strong here. Let's see what he does. We're actually going to win this trade now. So we're going to do 4 plus a Trickster is going to win. Or Mustache Trickster now. This is just fun in games right now. This is not even a serious play. This'll die. Mustache Trickster is guaranteed lethal. We could have just fruitcaked if we were taking this seriously. It's guaranteed lethal in so many directions. He's actually running this in his deck. Running Twin Sunflower, very interesting. But again, we have 7. So we'll go for 3 plus 3, and that'll do. Alright, so obviously this tournament has so far been going the way we want it to. We are on game point. We are on tournament point, actually. We win. He has to beat us 4 straight times right now. We have to win 1 out of the next 4. Again, we're playing a best of 7. So far, I've been predicting the matchups. I'm really glad he didn't play Lucis there. That Monster Mash was very fun. My instinct says Rose, so I'm just going to follow my gut. It's very, very good deck in general, and quite good against just basically everything he's running, so... I'm really, again, very nervous before this tournament. I feel like I'm beginning to, taste victory here a little bit. I obviously need to take this very seriously, because, again, this is a serious opponent. He's playing good decks, and I just don't want to, I don't want to go against Brain Freeze. But I think he'll switch that up. I think the Blockbuster probably shook him up a little bit there. He's going to be too afraid to run that again. It's actually nice we showed him the Blockbuster so we can switch this deck. Little mind games. We're also running Full Beans, which, again, this deck can win You have to like stall with cool beans and then hit him with big cob cannons. There's ways of this to beat Brain Freeze, but Brain Freeze is obviously favored. I think he's going to be too afraid to go lockout. I think that showing him the blockbuster makes this pick a lot better. I've also been known to repeat my zombie picks a lot, so I don't think he's going to go for it again. Immorticia. I'm running 4 Brainanas in this deck, so this should be fine. This should be just fine. We'll take Immorticia, just put her superpowers up in the field so I can track them. Gravestones are not important. Gravestone's not important. This will be fine against Teleportation Zombie, and this will just be an aggressive card. I think having the curve is good. Again, it's probably some kind of like, you know, teleport Zombot, that type of thing. And the Brainanas hopefully will draw into them. I have no idea what that is. The question is, do we use the Weed Whack or the Zombie? This will be better against the Gravestone next turn. Much better. Really slows it down a lot. So I think just because it's... I don't know what the heck this is. It's some kind of meme deck? Who runs Interdimensional Zombie? I have no idea. More applesaucers, that'll be useful. Coming late. Probably gonna see a Teleportation Zombie here. Oh, interesting. I would have loved to Weed Whack that one. I don't know what this is gonna be. Alright. We'll have a 1 on a 2 next turn. Maybe keeping the applesaucers though is better. Probably using this later against like just messing up a Teleportation Zombie is still better. I don't know that he's running that though. Some kind of tempo Morticia. I don't know what this is. We got a 5. Our curve is looking really nice. We're probably gonna play 1+2 here. I'd love to see a Gravestone and then just commit this. That would be quite nice. Wow. Really, really interesting deck here. We're gonna make him we're gonna make him replay that for 3 next turn if he wants to. It looks like just a tempo science deck, and so far I get it probably is burst. So us having heals and also keeping our health at 20 going into the next turn, I think is good here. More strike through. This should be very good in this matchup. He seems just to be playing a bunch of minions. So if we see a Gravestone here, will I Elderberry? If he plays a second minion, I'll definitely catch a mechanic. I'd love to see that. I think this would have done better against the Citron. Well, with our superpowers, maybe not. Thanks for that. So is Ketchup Mechanic the play? I think having an extra strike through minion on the field is going to be really good. So this will do 5. It's a little more. We also have so much heals, so much strike through, so much damage. I don't know, this guy's going to have a really rough time. He's running Area 22. Again, we have so many heals. 2 cost 4/4, I love it. Love it. So the difference between 5 and 4 damage is negligible here. So I'm going to settles that. I can also play Ketchup here if I want. I think playing on curve, and this eventually will do more damage. I'll keep the Elderberry alive instead of taking him 4/4. I'll give him another card. Him playing a 5 cost 5/5 isn't gonna really do much here. Yeah, it's alright. It's nice that we're healing. It's nice that we have catching mechanics and strike through. We're gonna block and get a way to deal with this 4/4 eventually. Let's have some Cob Cannons in this deck. Has he shown us a superpower yet? I think he's just been playing on curve, right? Oh, he played Evaporate. Okay. The Brainanas are gonna kill him. Just gotta decide how we're gonna use that. Okay, that's interesting. It's 2 cost 4/4s. This is gonna be a 3 cost 4/4, which is nice here. I'll probably block the Science. The Science is probably better than Dancing in this deck, I presume. We're in an awkward situation. Brainana's obviously not the play. Catch-up mechanic's actually at 5/5 now. I think I have to do this. Let's just keep our health total up. I mean, next turn is 7. Alright. That's a really good catch-up. Just keeping that health total up. I guess the Brainana can take out the water lane too once he passes. We're kind of winning all these trades. It means we just can't really play on curve. I mean, we have plenty of 3s in this deck, so running like how many? 11 3s? Should be okay. I like that we're healing. This is a really cool deck. This is really cool. We're probably favored, but like, I'd love to get a... Well, Copcan doesn't even remove things. He'll just like weaken his cards. Does a bonus, okay? So that's a very powerful bonus attack down the drain, so that again, this is good value. I was probably blocking here for the first time. Block meter not behaving. We're down to 5. I'm scared now. There's our little buddy. This is a lot. It's 5. Okay. Question is, do we use little buddy here? I guess keeping this alive is worth it. We're gonna block now. We'll definitely get something. Is doing an extra 5 damage this turn worth it? And actually play little buddy here. But then that means this dies. And this will hit him next turn. We want this to die too. I think this is right. The Brainana just activates this for another 5 damage next turn. I hope that's correct. But we're killing these 5/5s at least again. Really good blocks, and we got 3 of these Heroics Instructors. Very cool deck here. So we'll freeze for a card. Didn't get our goat either, which is sad. Okay, so here's some more healing, which is nice. If he plays another minion, this is going to do a lot. It's probably not running any graves in this deck, and then... Okay, so much for that. What is that going to be? Teleportation zombie, probably? I'd love to just chump block him here, which I think is correct. If it's teleportation zombie, the Brainana looks kind of sweet. I don't think this is going to end up doing 3 damage. Could be wrong, though. I'm teleporting in something strong that will kill us. But if we heal for 2, we'll be at 9. The double chump blocking is probably the play. But I don't know. So he needs 5 damage. Oh no, he has it! Whoops! I forgot, he definitely has another cyborg. Oh, I misplayed so bad. Oh no, oh no, oh no, come on, Fry. Oh, I misplayed so hard. I misplayed so hard. Unfortunately. If I would have Brainana'd here, we would have hit him a couple more times. Alright, you took a game. Very nice. That was a very interesting deck. Definitely wasn't expecting that. I should have Brainana'd. It has to be teleportation zombie. Should have Brainana'd. Problem is I didn't have another play, but we probably would have beat him the next turn with all the strike through minions. Yeah. Alright, Brainana in 5. Whoops. Who knows what kind of weird stuff he's gonna come up with here. It's probably just gonna be like a funny night or something like that. Going Citron. So is this might be elusives. That's interesting. Playing for Brainstorm. I think this deck is gonna be just fine against elusives. There, that's fine. This environment should be okay. This nibble will work against it's good against I'm gonna play on the ground here. Just because I want to be able to activate this area 22. So he does front that with Forget-Me-Nots, contrary to what some people believe. This is going to be pretty good against Triceratops. Good against Rhodobaga. Dog will even trade. Well, we win against dogs. It's definitely elusives. Calling environment into Pogo Yeti. See what it goes for. Our nibbles are very good against the Admiral Navy Bean, so this is definitely, with 4 nibbles and 4 extinction events, it's definitely something I was prepared for. 3 nuts, very, very sad here. Interesting. I'm gonna set up the environment nonetheless. Easy to trade. He's not running Cool Bean. He's not even running Cool Bean in this deck. He's running the Marine Bean version, which, like, I don't run so many Gravestones. He's not even running Cool Bean. And we also already have our freeze power in hand. Man, this Pogo Mug is just gonna wreck him here. This Pogo does 4. He can't play Jumping Bean. You know, he can't stack up against this with a 3-nut. He can go face with 3-nut. Triceratops. Triceratops. Feeling pretty good about this. The question is, should we Yeti yet and then get more value when we mug? Or do we make him play around second Pogo? I think we also just are playing the card advantage game on this. See what happens. Again, his bounces are all very sad this turn, and we'll be able to mug and kind of seal that. We're also on 16 health. It's just hitting us for bullseye. Seems that. So definitely freeze. Hey, you. Brain freeze power looks like it's active here. Mug also, Mug brain freeze could just do a lot of damage. Block and Mog would suck here. Come on, man. Don't do that to me. Protecting this turn? Because he needs a card, I guess. Oh, I think you definitely should have saved that for next turn. It doesn't do anything here. It doesn't get any value this turn. It just buffs us a little bit. I'm gonna go Mug. There's no real way to play around Blockbuster if he happens to be pulling that crap. Because of the freeze, I think I'm gonna go here. You might know the Mug glitch. So it's Pogo, then Mug. Mug's in the environment, and then Yeti. So Yeti trades well here, tentatively. If he buffs this too, we can just nibble it. We don't have to freeze it. So we have a bounce and a freeze. Theoretically, 2 for many freezes. I guess if he puts damage here, like I mean, if he puts like guys with 5 health here, well, this will do 7. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. So here's the Pogo. He doesn't know what he's stacked against, apparently. In fact, how do we make this lethal? Like this and freeze is lethal. It's guaranteed. Guaranteed. Because the Pogo lives because of the freeze. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him, boys. It's guaranteed lethal with lock-in against elusives. It's guaranteed. This doesn't move. It doesn't move with the, out of the environment. So we're going to go for 7, go for 11. And, alright, so a really huge shout out to everyone who organized this tournament, everyone who played in it. This has been a hell of an experience. I mean, it's been really fun. I've never played PvZ Heroes on this level before. I mean, again, playing in ranked and playing this tournament is such a different type, predicting opponents' matchups. But we did it, you know. Thank you to Saman PvZ. Check out his YouTube. He does speedruns for PvZ, and he's been a huge part of the PvZ Heroes community for a really long time. He helped me prepare. He basically invented the Citron deck. He suggested that I use this for the tournament, and he was right. He's been helping me a whole lot with preparing and stuff. We've been working together and really getting it done. So that'll be it. I'm so excited. We actually took this, took it 4 games to 1. All right, guys. That was a real experience. Maybe there will be tournaments in the future, so check out the Hero Pantheon Discord server if you want to keep track of that. I don't know what's going to be with it in the future, but all right, guys, that was amazing. I can't wait. Now I have all these recordings. I'm going to start putting these on YouTube and playing these decks in stream. I'm so happy. I can't wait to show you guys full streams with these tournament decks and stuff like that. And yeah, it looks like all the hard work and preparation, an embarrassing amount of hours, dozens of hours for sure, going into preparing this. It looks like it paid off. Hope you guys enjoyed. I certainly did. That was quite the journey. Peace. This is Fry.